All right, so can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right, let me go over here. So, sorry about that. All right, so you guys should, when you open up Canvas, the very first thing that you see should be this, and this is a link to the syllabus. So you should definitely click on this here, and it should upload the syllabus or download the syllabus, and you want to read through that so you understand everything that you have to do for the class. And this is basically, it's a 6-week course, but it's a full course. So I'm not taking out any chapters or anything from the book that you would normally encounter in a full course. So it's a lot of work, and basically you should try to work at least 3 to 4 days during the week and expect to do maybe 2 to 3 hours of work each day. So that would be about 10 hours of work per week. So it's a lot. It is a lot of work, but if you kind of divide up your time and keep working steadily throughout the week, you should be able to get everything done. So basically every week there's the Google slide that has class activities embedded in the Google slide. So all of the activities you actually do inside of Google and then submit those on Google, and I'll add a grade for you for that into Canvas. You have a quiz for each chapter. So for each week, we're going to have 2 to 3 chapters a week. So that means you'll have 2 to 3 quizzes a week. And then you will have 1 test a week. And I know this is a lot, but basically that means that you won't have to get tested on a lot of information. You're only being tested on 2 to 3 chapters at a time. So it's a lot of tests, but it kind of reduces some of that extra stress of having to study so many different chapters. All of the activities that I have planned for you are to help you to kind of be reviewing the information as we go. And it should cue you into what are some of the important concepts that you should be studying. The textbook is listed right here, and I think I hopefully have everyone's email. So I emailed this out to everyone. If you added the class recently, you may not have gotten that email. So this is the book for the class. They have a loose leaf edition, which is what I bought. It's a little cheaper, and basically it's not going to be bound. So here, let me show you. You have to put it in a binder because it won't have a cover on the outside. It's a little bit less expensive than the book. Of course, you can find used editions. And then they also have an e-version, and they have a PDF version of the book online. So there should be different options for if you don't have a lot of money. I think the PDF version is the cheapest. I'm not sure if it has all the quizzes and everything in the PDF version. So there's that for you. And then I posted the basic breakdown of the grading, how I do grading. I grade just based on points, and then I do percentage based on points. So the class, you can earn a possible 680 points in total. So if you earn 612 points, that's an A. If you earn 544 points, that's a B, and so on. So I listed for you here how many points you need to earn to get the grade that you want to have. There's 14 chapters. So we have 1 quiz for each chapter. Each quiz is 10 points, so that's 140 points for the quizzes. There's 1 test each week, which is worth 40 points. So that's 240 points total. And then the class activities in the PowerPoint, those are going to be 50 points for each week. So 6 weeks, that equals 300 points. And basically for those, if you complete it, you do the work, you turn it in, you get the points. The quizzes, I have it set up where you can take the quiz quizzes as many times as you want to get full credit. It is fill in the blank instead of multiple choice. So it's just a little bit harder, but you do have a word bank. So you would use the words from the word bank. So basically if you do all of the quizzes and all the class activities and you complete all that, that would bring you to 440 points, which is almost passing. So that means basically I try to buffer your grades so that your whole grade isn't depending just on the tests. So that if you're kind of completing the work as we go and you're completing everything, you should be pretty much able to pass the class if you can kind of keep up with the coursework. So in other words, don't freak out too much about the tests. They're there as a way to be like reviewing the information, continually actively studying so you can try to remember the information. Let me go ahead and yeah, so let me go over the syllabus. I already went over most of the information in the syllabus. I wish I had an online version of it. Okay, so yeah, I'll just do it that way. All right, whenever that opens up, I will share the screen of that. Are there any questions so far about the assignments or anything like that? Sorry, I'm waiting on this to open up here. My computer is very slow, so sorry, it's a continual problem here. Okay, Word finally opened. There. All right, can you see the syllabus now? Oops, no, it's popped away. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, same information is here, but there's more detail here than on the start page. So again, try to expect to work at least 10 hours a week on the course. If you don't already have a Google account, please create a Google account. They are free. You shouldn't have to pay for them. And then we'll use Google Classroom, which I'll go over in a little bit. This is kind of the basic learning outcomes. So you want to read through those to understand what we're going to learn about. Office hours. All my lectures are already pre-recorded and they're posted online. So what I'd like you to do is go through the lectures in the online format and the recorded format. And then if you have any questions, you can make notes directly on the slides and then ask me those questions during office hours. So I'll be in office hours Monday through Thursday. And for right now, based on what your guys' responses were for the doodle poll, I'll do 10 a.m. to noon, and then another session from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then based on how many people actually attend at what hours, I'll adjust as we go. So, and you're always welcome to set up a one-on-one session with me as well. If those times don't work, we'll find another time that works for you individually. I already explained the class activities and the quizzes and the tests. The tests will be multiple choice, and you might have a free response question or a couple of free response, but they're mostly multiple choice. And there is an extra credit opportunity. So the max points I'll give you for extra credit is 40 points. And so basically, if something happens and you miss a test or you missed a week, you didn't turn in your class activities, then you have the option to do a paper if you would like to get some extra credit points. So you can get 30 points possible for basically doing a research paper. And then any questions that you guys have that you bring up in office hours, some of them I may post, and you guys can answer each other's questions for extra credit using some type of a resource where you found the information. Attendance, since this is an online course, basically attendance I track with your assignments. So are you turning in assignments? Do I see you're making progress? Because it's only a 6-week course, if I see that you're not making progress in the first week or two, I may go ahead and drop you, not to, just because it's a lot of work and it's fast paced and you got to keep up with it and keep turning in your assignments as we go. So there is no mandatory meetings or anything like that. And office hours is totally optional. But I do need to see that you're making progress in the course. And then at the end of this syllabus is a tentative calendar. I have 4 people in office hours, so from you guys, do you find the Canvas calendars to be helpful? Do you use them? You can do like a thumbs up, thumbs down.
I like them just to see like when the assignments are due. Is that what you were referring to?
Yeah.
I like those, just so it's all in one spot, but.
Okay, so then I will go ahead and I'll add a calendar to Canvas. Last semester, I think the students didn't use it too much, so. All right, so then I'll go back to Canvas here. Are there any questions about any of the assignments so far?
No.
Okay. So let me segue to the Google Classroom. For anybody that has not done this before, actually, let's see here. So let's say that you are in your Google email and you don't know how to get into the Google Classroom. Let me load it up here. You guys can see my Gmail, right? On the screen? Okay. So on the top right-hand corner, you'll see this little grid of squares. You click on that grid and you scroll down until you see the little app for Classroom, and hit that app. And whenever it loads, my classes are already loaded here, but you probably won't see anything. You will go to the top right-hand corner and find this little plus sign. You hit that plus sign and you hit join class, and you need the class code. So let me go right here. This is Psych 2 for summer 2020, and the class code is QURTAR3. So for you guys, you would hit the plus sign, you hit join class, and then you type in that class code, QURTAR3. You hit join, and then you should be enrolled in the class automatically. If that's not working for you, you can email me your Gmail email the Gmail email, and then I can add you directly to the class with your email. So then you should see this class, and I'm only going to post the 1 slide per week. So each slide, each set of slides will have multiple chapters in the slides. But I designed it hopefully so that as you're going through, you can plan the week accordingly. So I'm going to open up this person's, ow. Okay. So side note, for each individual person, you should have your own individual set of slides. You can directly edit the slides. It's loading here. Anytime you see blue text like this with an underline, that is a hyperlink, and that should link you to someplace else. So if I click on this, once it's done loading, okay, I click on it once, and then it gives me this link here. So if I click on that, it should bring you to my first lecture for chapter 1. The lectures I broke down, there's just one chapter for each lecture. Okay, I'm gonna close that out. So that is anything that's blue with an underline would be a hyperlink, so click on that. So same thing here, your first assignment is you would read pages 4 to 5 in your textbook. I did add like a picture of them and a link to it right here. So this will link you to the text to read. And then the next thing you'll do is go to Flipgrid. So at least once a week, I am gonna have you guys do a short little video recording of yourself. And this is, I really like when students learn from each other, and I like hearing your guys' ideas and your thoughts about things. And so it's a little hard with the online format to be able to do that. So what I decided to do is once a week, you guys will make a Flipgrid video, and then you can comment on each other's videos. So you'll just hit the link directly. And whatever it loads, it takes a long time. Okay. You'll hit login with Microsoft. And then you guys will pick your @RCCD email. That is the email that you can use for Flipgrid. So you hit that one, and it should bring you automatically to this page when you log in. I have instructions of what to do for the video right here. And to record the video should be pretty simple. You just hit the plus sign and you follow the directions. So you hit the plus. You would record a short video, and then after you record it, there's a couple other steps you got to go through to have it load your video up. So remember to follow through all the steps. Since I'm using my camera, it won't let me, it won't connect to my camera right here, but so it should be pretty easy. If you have problems with the Flipgrid, let me know. And then once you post your video, you can comment on other people's videos as well. Okay. All right, and then basically the lecture goes through the PowerPoint slides. Some people may prefer just to read the textbook, and you can use the slides to review. That's fine as well if you don't like the video lecture. And then any place in the slides where there is a bright yellow box in the corner, like this, that means there's an activity on this slide, and I want you to be, you should be doing something on the slide. So sometimes you have a free response where you click in the text box and you would type your response in the text box. Other times, let me scroll down. Okay, so like on this side, what I want you to do is click and drag the labels to the appropriate part of the neuron over here. So you just click on the little box that has a label in it, and then you can drag it around, and you'll just set it wherever you think, oops, uh-oh. Every so often there's problems with this, so let me fix slide. All right. I tried double checking all these, but anyway, so you should be able to just click on the boxes and then drag them over and label the parts of the axon. So those are the two things. It's either a click and drag or a free response, or at the very end, in these ones, I want you to actually type in and label the brain area. So you can just click in the box and type in it directly. Again, if any of this is not making sense, you can join office hours, especially this first week, and I can walk through all of it with you and help you to understand how to do what I'm asking you to do. I have the slides broken down for each day of the week. So basically Monday is oops, where was that? Just lost it. Monday is the introduction chapter and a little bit of chapter 1. Tuesday, day 2 is some of chapter 1 and chapter 2. And then day 3 is chapter 3. For each day, I have a little hyperlink of the video for the lecture. And then what I do after the lectures is now I say day 4, you'll study and take the quizzes, and day 5, you take the test. So that's kind of how I have envisioned the course, is that you'll take 2 to 3 days during the week to go through the lectures, and then you'll take another day to kind of study and do the quizzes, and then the last day you'll take the test. Okay, when you finish your slides over here, yours will look different from mine, but you should have a button over here where you can just hit turn it in. And then you'll turn in your slides. When you turn them in, I can see them and I can give you a grade from that. Okay, any questions about the Google slide portion of the class from the people that are in office hours? Is it confusing? Good. Okay. All right, so that's the Google portion of the class. And let me go back to the Canvas. Okay, so when you guys open up Canvas, the first page you see should be this with the syllabus. Again, please read through it. The next place you'll go to is modules. Modules is where I have all of your quizzes, tests, and assignments listed. I also have the lectures here for you as well. So I put these in order, so you should just kind of go through each part of the modules for the week in order. So you would hit start here. This walks you through how to get into the Google Classroom. I'll have a start here section each week, which is telling you when things are due. Each week it's going to be the same though. So the slides are due by, so the week is starting on Monday, right? So the slides are due by Friday at midnight. And then the quizzes and tests are due by Sunday midnight. And then the next week starts. And we'll have that one Flipgrid video each week. So you'll have to respond to 2 other people by Sunday. And the due dates are really just to help you keep on task and keep going through the class. So each week you'll have that, and then, oops. That's not what I'm gonna do.
I had a quick question about the response for the Flipgrid videos.
Yes.
It's just like a typed out response, right?
Oh, these are some former students. They're all adults, so hopefully they won't mind. Okay, so this was a prior class. And I'll just, I'll go down to my video that I did. Okay, so if I click on this video, you have this option here. You can hit reply to anybody's video you're watching. I'll have to log in. And let's see here. I think it won't let me access the camera since I'm currently using my camera for Zoom. But what you should see is you can record a video in response, but you can also just, if you don't want to record a video, you can maybe do a quick like a snap of yourself, and then you can add text, like a text box, or you can draw directly on the video and things like that. So if you want to just record a quick video response, you can do that, but you just hit this reply button here and it should work for you.
So it has to be a video response?
Yeah, I think once you open up the box, it won't let me do it right now, but it will automatically take a video of you, but then you can pause it and stop it, and then you can add text and things like that instead.
Okay.
So I think you can probably just text like right on the screen instead of making a video, but you got to play around with it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry. It should be pretty easy and straightforward. That's why I went with Flipgrid, because it seems to be one of the easier ways to do these videos. So.
Okay.
Any other questions about that part?
I'm good with what you did.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then let's see. So I posted, so after you hit start here, that will tell you what you need to do for the week. The lectures are all posted right here again for you. The quizzes are here, and then, excuse me, and then the test. The only thing that I don't know how to link into Canvas is the Google Classroom itself. So for that, you have to log into your Google account and then find the classroom and do the slides that way. Once everyone is logged into Google, next week, I will try to just add a link to the classroom, and hopefully you can just hit that link and go straight to the Google Classroom. If there are problems with the slides, or if you add the class late and the slides aren't working for you, let me know, because some of those things I don't know if they're not working. Same thing with quizzes or tests. If there's anything weird about it, let me know and then I'll try to fix it. Okay, and that's pretty much the whole class. So every week the slides are due by Friday and the tests and quizzes are due by Sunday. Everything is there for you under modules, and then you have the grades will be posted on Canvas as well. So are there any questions about the assignments so far? All right, so then we did syllabus, assignments, classroom. And then I'll add a calendar. Okay, so then there's basically two side note, well, three extra things to go over. One is I've been emailing you guys through the RCCD email, but for the remainder of the course, I do prefer if you contact me through the Canvas email, just because it's easier so that your guys' emails don't get mixed up with other, housekeeping or RCCD emails. And then every time I want to like grade or look at information from students, I know exactly where everything is. So please email me through Canvas. Hopefully, I think you guys all pretty much know how to do that after last semester. But if not, you'll just find this little logo that has the box. It looks like a little mailbox. You will find a button that has like a little pencil in it. This one here. Click that button. You have to select your course. and we're like to this one. And then you can type in anybody's name. So if you want to email me, you will hit, my name is Sarah Reinhardt. So you'll just start typing in Sarah. You can select me and then go ahead and do your email. If you guys, and I do suggest that you contact one another and maybe set up study groups, things like that with each other. So if you want to email each other, you can, let's see, I have the option of hitting all. I don't know if you guys have that option, but you guys can email one another and try to set up study groups with each other, or email other students in the class that way. The other thing I suggest, if you guys are interested in, is I left a little chat room open. So again, if you guys want to talk to each other and set up study times together. Oops, that's the wrong class. You guys can try to coordinate with each other through the chat as well. Let me open this up. Chat. And then, so I left this option open, a little chat room where you guys can like meet at a certain time and then you can just talk to each other if you have questions for one another. And I can check chat periodically as well, and see if you guys have questions that you're leaving here. And then if you want, you can always use the Zoom office hours if some of you want to study with each other. I can just kind of be here, or I can turn it off and just let you guys study with each other. So those are different options. There's also an app called GroupMe. It's here, I'll type it here, GroupMe, where you guys can, it's kind of like texting with each other. So if you want to do something like that with your classmates, I think I'll go ahead and send out an email and maybe get everybody's email who might be interested in studying with other students. And then you guys can coordinate with each other how you want to do that. Okay, so that's, I think, pretty much everything I had. The final thing is, if you've never used the Canvas calendar, you would just hit this little logo that says calendar. And today I'll go ahead and add everything onto the calendar for those students that like to use this option. And you should just see everything listed here for the class as we go along. All right, are there any final questions? Anything I haven't covered or talked about? And it's probably a lot of information, so take a day and kind of look through the everything, all the materials on Canvas and the Google Classroom, and then come back to the office hours if you have any further questions.
Okay.
I will stop recording. Oh wait, I have something in chat. Yes, you guys each get your own copy of those slides. They're in Google slide format. So when you edit the slides, nobody else should see it unless I set it up wrong. So anything you edit in the slides, you can, actually, let me show you that. I meant to show you that too. Here. So if you, I do suggest that you pull up the slides as you're watching the lecture, and then it's loading. Okay, so any notes that you may want to take during the lecture, once it loads, there's a little note box down here. So you can directly take notes into the slides as you go through the lecture if you want to do it that way. Or as you're reading through the textbook, you can take notes into the slides as well. Down here, if you, the only thing I wasn't able to figure out is how you guys can give me questions you have about the lecture in real time. So I'd suggest office hours, but as a second possible thing you could do is you can just add a little comment. There's private comments, so if you want to add a comment to the slides, or you can add a text box to the slides and just say like, hey professor, I don't understand A, something like that. Or as you go through the lecture, you can always like make a note on areas that weren't clear, that you don't quite understand, and then bring those up to me in office hours. So basically any way you want to do it to where you're getting the help you need for the information. But yeah, so any edits you make to the slides, nobody sees them but you and me. Stop share again. All right, any other questions? I will stop recording then.